What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of the draft to glory. In the last episode we managed to win the draft, which was obviously very nice. We got terrible rewards and it was probably one of the first times, we'll take that Zinedine Zidane straight off the bat. It was probably one of the first times in a very long time that we genuinely wouldn't make any profit after winning the draft. It doesn't happen often, but it happens every now and then. But in that draft, of course, we showed you guys how to change chem styles. So if you missed out on that video, it's there. It's episode, 55, I believe. Ooh, you know what? Let's go for Lacazette and Aubameyang up front for a change. Why not? There's just a little something different. Why not? Yeah, hopefully today, guys, we can carry on that winning run. We're at 69 draft wins now. So, you know, very, very happy with how that's all going. For this side... and of course, if you guys could drop a thumbs up on the video, it would be very much appreciated. For this side, like Eriksen would make sense to continue the Premier League theme. I don't really want to play with him. If this was a 4-2-3-1, I'd play with him as a central cam, and Zidane as an outside cam because of that pace, that 5-star on those insane stats. But Eriksen is just not well suited for an outside cam. He just doesn't have the pace for it. However, I am now glad that we carried on with this Premier League theme, because we've now got Kante in there, which will get Lacazette onto full chem. And we'll even take Declan Rice. Why not? Lacazette's on full chem there anyway, but that will get Kante onto full chem as well. So Zidane obviously is guaranteed to get full chem. Kante now is pretty much guaranteed to get full chem. Let's see who we can get in goal. We'll take Alisson and carry on with the Premier League theme. I'm going to take Ter Stegen. You know, it's just the La Liga back line is so strong this year. We've got French players. There's lots of icons that pop up that we can link in as well. Get Johnny with a shadow. Spanish as well, so he could really work. And then we actually have a shadow chem style spare. We've got good chem styles up front anyway. Or we could take Junior Firpo. And again, hope to get that Barcelona centre-back or that Spanish centre-back. And we'll go with the Premier League player. There we go. We'll take Johnny in. And we're going for that centre-back spot. And that centre-back is going to be not good. That's the answer to that. Raul Albiol, he's kind of like the only guy that can fit. Now, his defending is good. His physicals are good. Apart from that stamina. His reactions are okay. His passing's okay. It's just that lack of pace that is absolutely devastating. So we are going to have to get a good card on him. And we will definitely take in-form Virgil van Dijk. We can swap those two around. Doesn't help with chemistry unless we can get ourselves a good right back. But the right back generally doesn't matter. Now, Kappa would be good for chemistry. Ricardo Pereira, I think, would be great. I think I'd prefer to take him. Quality card, we'll swap around with Van Dijk. So we're at a 189 off the bat, guys. And I tell you what, that's actually a huge draft because we've got a 78, a 79, and an 83 in the starting lineup. It really goes to show how big this draft is. And we'll take David De Gea in there as well. We can start David De Gea in there as well. It doesn't actually help chemistry for Van Dijk, but it does get the goalkeeper on 10 instead of Ter Stegen, who was on 7. We have still got some opportunities to change. I need some good defenders. And we've got some good defenders. Now, do I take Jordi Alba and put him at left back? Or even put him at centre-back and then put Ter Stegen in goal? Or do I take Robertson and put him at centre-back? And then that Johnny card is going to be a bit of a problem. Do we take Walker and put him at centre-back? Who's got like the height here? High, 6 foot. Walker's probably the guy for it. You know, his dribbling's good. His physicals are very good. His defending's decent at base. His pace is obviously brilliant. So if we could get a good defensive chem style on him, I think that'd probably be the one. We'll take Kyle Walker. We'll pop him in the middle there. And it might be Pereira that we... No, Pereira's defensive stats aren't quite as good as Walker's, nor his physicals. So we'll play Walker in at centre-back. But I wouldn't mind, again, another good fullback from the Premier League or another good card. And there it is. Sol Campbell, the first time that we'll be using him. He's now in draft. So we'll still use Walker off chem at left-back now instead. And I'd still prefer to get a good chem style on him. But this is the first time using this Sol Campbell. What version is this? Is mid? Is prime? Is 89? This is prime, isn't it? Because of the border around it. Low medium work rate, 6'2". Passing's not really great, but pace is brilliant. Reactions and composure are great. Defending and physical are brilliant. And our back line, our team in general is fantastic. The only upgrades we need to make is we need to get Declan Rice off for somebody better. And we need to get Christian Eriksen off for somebody who's more suited to an outside cam. And then we just need a sub or two to bring in for Aubameyang or Lacazette. So we've got lots of options here, lots of choices. I might go with Luka Modric. A, he has that shadow chem style, and B, he would actually be a good player to bring in onto that cam spot. And in terms of rating, he's pretty good. Wow, it's given me like mostly the same setup here. See, now I'm tempted to take, you know, like I could put Casemiro in at CDM. It wouldn't impact anybody really. I could put Campbell at right centre back. Everyone would still be on the chemistry they're on, and that would be a big win. Or I could do the same with Carvalho as well, because I prefer him as a player. I will do it with Carvalho. We could play him over Declan Rice and then just swap the centre backs around. And then Aubameyang still on full chem, Kante still on full chem, Van Dijk still on full chem. Everybody's still in the exact same spot they were. The only downside is that the CDM has less chemistry now. But we've now got a brilliant starting lineup, and it is just the offensive subs that we're going to need. Oh my God. Firmino as the outside cam would be great, but Messi as a sub, you just can't turn down, and I'm not going to turn it down. We're going to have him on the bench. We'll bring him on that left cam spot if we need to, and we're also going to take that Luis Figo as another great sub. Just can't turn those ones down. They're just two of the players in this game that I personally find to be absolutely fantastic. And we're also going to get, wow, Thomas Partey. Ooh, Lucas Torreira. If that was his road to the final, there'd be no two ways about it. I'd just take him and pop him in there. But I still think I'd prefer Carvalho on 7. Let's take Thomas Partey in there as well. Let's get him on the bench. Are we up at a 190 yet? We're not. We're likely to get at least a 190 here. I'm hoping we can push on for a 191. With Riyad Mahrez there, not only is he a good sub with those 5-star skill moves, he's also a good rating that really should get us to 190 now. He still hasn't. So we've got 2 more picks before I do go and alter my chem styles. And from our first pick, we're going to take Manuel Neuer again for that rating. We don't need a goalkeeper, but we also don't need Raul Albiol, and we're still not at a 190. That's really surprising. I thought our team was like, that's 3 big upgrades for us not to actually improve anything. There's nothing going on here, so we'll take the Shadow Chem style. I'm now going to go and change my chem styles, guys, and I'll be right back. All right, so that's how we're going to set up. Basic on the goalkeeper, shadows across the board in the back line, shadows in the CDMs, Hunter's up front, Hunter on Zidane, and then a catalyst on Eriksen. Of course, Eriksen will be getting taken off the field for Lionel Messi at one stage or another. And then our final picks, and just is okay. Sad we can't fit him in. Grimaldo as well. We will take. I don't think that's going to be an upgrade on rating. But let's put our team back together here and see what we end up with. I think the starting lineup is brilliant for the team. I've got no complaints about the starting lineup at all. I think that the back line as well, I'm very, very excited to try Sol Campbell. This is going to be the first time this year I've tried him. I bought him on the Road to Glory last year for a few games, but he wasn't really my cup of tea last year. I don't know what, it was only his base anyway, so maybe that's why. But overall, what am I missing here? Where have we lost the chemistry? Oh, Figo in goal. Yep, that wouldn't be very helpful. David Hare goes in there. Overall, this draft is pretty fantastic. Now, we don't, sadly, get a 190. This is a huge 189. We must honestly be a one or two positions, ratings away from hitting a bigger value of a team here. In fact, if we even do that, does that get us up to 90 rated? No, it doesn't. But the team itself, although not high rating in rating, is brilliant. 2 CDMs are 2 of the best I've used this year. They've got the 2 Arsenal boys up top. Hopefully I can get them firing on all cylinders. Zidane is sensational. That back line is absolutely spectacular. We've got Messi on for Eriksen, and then Figo and Mahrez for Aubameyang and Lacazette throughout. All we really need here, probably prefer a Premier League or an English manager, just to get Walker up onto 7 chemistry. But that's not happening. So I suppose after that we'll go and get the La Liga manager to get Carvalho up onto 8 chemistry. And that's going to be us, guys. So there is the draft. Let's go and get into the gameplay. All right, guys, as we get into the gameplay, we have got a lot of goals today. This game, the first two games actually were played in, I don't know what EA call it these days. I can't remember what terminology they've told us to use for everything, but unresponsive gameplay, input delay, button lag, whatever you want to call it. It was rife. We end up getting the first goal. Even that with Aubameyang there, pulling the ball in. See how he stands and then turns and shoots. As I pass the ball in on my thumbstick, I'm turning straight away, trying to like curve in with the ball. It was just a nightmare. And so when I went 2-0 up and 3-0 up and 4-0 up, I was sitting there thinking, man, thank God for that. Like, because this is a stress. And we actually score a banging goal there with Christian Eriksen, the overhead kick. And he completes his hat-trick here as well, I believe, which is quite nice. But yeah, it was really, really difficult, really struggling to just play the game. And at 4-0 up, I was thinking to myself, like, good stuff. Like, it's game over. Surprised this guy didn't quit. He's not really got anything to play for until he did. 40th minute, he makes it 4-1. 42nd minute, he then goes ahead and makes it 4-2. Ronaldo feeds through Heung-min Son. Son plays it back to Ronaldo, who smashes it home. And then on the stroke of half-time, he makes it 4-3. And at that point, I'm thinking to myself, man, I was 4-0 up and he didn't quit. I'm experiencing really heavy, bad gameplay. And he's pulled it back to 4-3. I'm like, please don't choke this. Like, just be normal here. Like, just play your best still and see if you can get back into the game and back in front. And that's exactly what happened. We made it 5-3 there with Messi. And then with 5 minutes to go, we get a back heel there from Messi to Zidane to make it 6-3. And that was the game. He eventually did quit, but with just a couple minutes left. So, as per usual, when I experience like really terrible gameplay and input delay and button lag and whatever we're going to call it, I restart my game. Like, hopefully, I was told by Dunans and Dragons a while back, a few years back now, that sometimes, for whatever reason, maybe it's your fault, maybe it's theirs, that you log into the wrong FIFA server when you start your game. So I restarted my game hoping that getting into a new FIFA server would be better for me. I'd be pinging to better opponents or whatever. Come up against a guy with 81 chemistry. Pretty good team by all accounts. And if he just swaps around his two centre-backs, he gets way more chemistry. Very frustrating to see that. But yeah, pretty good team. Little low on chemistry. And it was just another game where I'm just like, this is unbearable to play. He scored to make it 1-0. I've scored from kickoff, which I haven't done this year. Like, you see how people don't really complain about kickoff goals this year. They don't really happen much this year, which is nice, I suppose. But yeah, scored from kickoff to make it 1-1. He then scores to make it 2-1, and I scored again directly from kickoff to make it 2-2. It's actually a really, really nice goal this time from Zidane as well. We get into the box, just take our time, nice, wait for the space, drill that across the keeper there for 2-2. Before half-time, my opponent made it 3-2. And this was another one of those games, where you look at the stats at the end and you're just like, how was this game as close as it was? But as I said, as we started the goals here, there is a lot of goals. 5 minutes after halftime, I pulled this game back in at 3-3. Kante and Messi doing well. Aubameyang picks up the loose ball, shields off Koulibaly, shoots across the keeper and scores for 3-3. And then fortunately, 15, 20 minutes later in the game, we get Zidane here through. Again, just taking our time, being patient with the ball. Get a little bit lucky to get the ball back there after he got a good tackle off. And then we eventually find Messi. He's expecting me to cut back onto Messi's left foot to shoot across the goal. So I turned into his right foot. He's got that 4-star weak foot and shot into that near post. And then with Messi again here with 15 minutes left on the clock, we get in behind. He pulls his keeper. We roll around the keeper and get that ball in the back of the net for 5-3. And that this guy does rage quit, I think, in the end. But he pulls it back to 5-4 with Sancho, banging finish. And then I think I make it 6-4. Pretty sure we do. Yeah, we're like 5 minutes to go here. We get the ball with Messi. Again, we're just doing a good bit of work there. Wait for Zidane. Zidane bangs that in the back of the net for 6-4. And then eventually it became 7-4. So Riyad Mahrez comes in behind here. We've got the easy cut back on for Figo, who does make it 7-4. And that was the game. So loads of goals scored in the first two games, but in just some of the most horrific gameplay. And you can see here, look at where I have the shots from, guys. Like, these are good shooting areas with top tier players. This guy has 5 shots and scores 4. I had like 15 on target and yeah, I scored 7. That's pretty good strike rate. But it was just way harder than it really should have been. And maybe that's my perception of how the game was going rather than how the game was actually going. But into the semi-final we go, guys, and we end up scoring a nice early goal here. Lacazette getting in behind, cuts it across to Aubameyang, who taps that one in for 1-0. And just like game 1 and game 2, the goals just continue to flow for me. Aubameyang across the face of the goalkeeper that time for 2-0. My opponent did pull one back to make it 2-1 with Depay. Good finish with Depay as well there, just after half time. So another kickoff goal, which we've seen in this draft specifically. We've seen a lot of crosses and a lot of kickoff goals, which is quite interesting. We eventually made it 3 with Messi there in the 50th minute. Which was very, very nice. And then in the 60th minute here, we made it 4. Zidane picks up the loose ball. Again, just nice, patient play from Zidane. Waits for the defender to keep making his move. Gets that finesse shot across the goalkeeper for 4. And then was about another 10 minutes later. And again, sometimes when the luck's on your side, the luck's on your side. Like, I would be livid if I conceded that. And if that was a game that was like tied at 2-2 or 1-1, or if I was losing by a goal and that now put me 2 goals behind, I would be fuming to concede that. At 5-1, it made little difference. But that's the nuances in the game that really do trigger people. Into the final, we come up against an absolute monster squad. Figo, Petit, the Heung-min Son card, the informed Fabinho, a brilliant back line. The only downsides to this team, obviously, the 2 strikers, but he subbed them out straight away. I can't remember for the life of me who he brought on. But we scored again here straight from kickoff. Zidane into Aubameyang. Aubameyang into the back of the net to make it 1-0. We did make it 2-0. Not too deep into the first half, about halfway through the first half, make it 2-0. Lacazette here with the scoop turn, the shot, and a beautiful finish from him to make it 2-0. We then made it 3-0, and you can see here, this guy's trolling now, right? He moves his keeper out. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's trying to anticipate a cross or something. So we hit that shot with Zidane, and it flies in. And from that point, he scored an own goal. He scored a goal, and he got a red card. He was just trolling and playing like an idiot. So there's no highlights to show with the rest of that. So we get ourselves our 70th draft win, guys. Let's get into the packs. All right, guys. So we end up winning our 70th draft from our 125th attempt. I'm really, really happy with my draft record, as I know you guys know. This draft was brilliant. Game 1 and Game 2 was very, very difficult because of unresponsive gameplay and just horrendous servers or whatever you want to call it. Like, I dominated both games, like, comfortably, and I just struggled to win. I ended up scoring lots of goals, which did, of course, help. But I was just conceding goals all over the place because I just couldn't defend. This is pretty much what the team looked like in most games for the most part after half-time. Lacazette would come off and Eriksen would come off. And then on the odd game or two, Riyad Mahrez came off up front as well, just because those 5-star skills are so valuable up top. But as expected, this team played, absolutely fantastically. So here's our stats just for the record. 87% pass accuracy, 56% possession, 3.5 goals on average score per game. We're nearly at 1,500 goals now. Imagine we have milestones for, draft, goals scored, clean sheets, that sort of stuff. Our best team score 190, 373 to 55. Delighted. Let's hope that today we can get a better reward. Not the 225s and 7.5k, please. And we get it again. And that's what I said to you yesterday when we won the draft, or the last video when we won the draft. I don't know if it was necessarily yesterday. It depends what EA release at 6 p.m. on Sunday. But when we got the 225s and 7.5 again, it's been extremely more common the last sort of like 2 to 3 weeks. And it's sad because it was good. However, from this draft, the 7.5k pack is a good start because we've got 3 players there that will get, 700 to 1,000 coins for each. The Sentinel, which is like 500 or 600 coins, and a Squad Fitness card, which is 1,000 coins. So we're already pulling in like 5k off of that pack, which is already better than yesterday's return. And from this pack, we're going to get a board. So it's not going to be a walkout. Is it going to be a good board? English, could be. Cam, Dele Alli, very nice. I don't know what he's worth now. 4, 5, 6k would be nice. And again, it would put us in those profit margins. We get Pellegrino as well. We get Cam to centre mid. Pellegrino's not selling. A couple fitness cards. Now, Cam to centre mid card is actually valuable. It's about 1,800 coins, something like that. Unless it's up at 4k and I've missed out on another profitable opportunity. Yeah, but it looks like it might be up at 3k. Now, we haven't seen anything on bid yet, so this might just be people price fixing. 2.5 on bid. Oh, my God. These were like, let me even check. I'll tell you exactly how much I was buying these for. Just a couple of, like, 4 or 5, just before Christmas, basically. Just before Christmas, I was buying Cam to centre mids for 2,000 coins. That's cool. That's cool. And now they are 3,000-ish. 3,500, something like that. But obviously it's good for us right now because we make the profit. We also get Dele Alli, who's up at, about 6, maybe 6.5k, something like that. So that's also very, very nice. So we have definitely made some good coins here today. We've already made profit, I would say, over the 2 packs that we've just opened. So everything that we can also make off of this rare gold pack would come in as just flat net profit. Is it going to be another board? No, it's not. Can we get a draft token or a good consumable or a coin unlock? That would be very nice. We get nothing of note. Couple of 82s, Italian League, and a Juan Mata. I don't think the 82s are worth that much. I mean, 1300 is okay. It's better than nothing. And then Mario Götze, I don't know if he's worth anything either. Maybe like 1300 for 82s right now is pretty good. So we get rid of him. So, okay, we probably made about like 5, 8, 10,000 coins profit off of that draft, which is nice. We obviously like to hope to get a lot more. But that is going to be the end of the video for today. So if you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rate, and comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.